My name is Jeff Cook. Sometimes go by Rev Jeff on YouTube and in other spaces. I'm a ordained pastor and soon to be wannabe podcaster. And if you found this channel or this video, Inside Voices with Rev Jeff, this is the space where a couple of things are going to happen. One, absolutely, it is the home base for the Inside Voices podcast. Won't get into that as much. What I wanted to just kind of share a little more recently came up and happened that will be happening on this channel as well is me just sharing some theological thoughts. I don't want to use the word preach because that scares people and they go running for the hills. But in reality, like I was trained how to read, study, and understand the Bible. I was trained, honestly, just as much through addiction recovery as in seminary, how to apply spiritual principles to the way that I live my life and how to be honest about how that actually goes. And so, even though that is actually what I do every time I preach, I'm going to stay away from that word for a minute and just tell you that that's what I'm going to be doing here weekly, every Tuesday night for at least the foreseeable immediate future. But because I know how communities of faith, whether online or in person, can unfortunately sometimes go off the rails. I learned, and I learned this from my 12 step experience, that having specific articulated principles by which you govern your little community really stops that from happening very effectively. And so there are 5 principles by which this little space is going to be governed, uh, particularly when we're talking about biblical theological things. And so the purpose of this video, one, is just to introduce myself, and two, is to just share with you very quickly what those things are. So the 5 protective principles are as follows. Number one, we keep first things first. Theology matters, but the gospel is life and death. I learned in the 12 steps the gift of that fellowship is that they have a primary purpose, that every person who gets there understands is life or death because people be dying. And I worry and lament that sometimes in the church, we don't understand the life and death nature of the gospel because most of us live comfortable in that area of our lives. Number two, we acknowledge that there is one all knowing God and we aren't Him. I don't think I need to say any more about that. I just wish more people would act that way. Number three, God's kingdom, the one that we inherit, is about protecting and providing for those who cannot do it for themselves. If there is one benefit to living a spiritual life that I feel more than any other, it's purpose. It is the opportunity to live in what feels like a meaningless, broken down dumpster fire of a world and find hope and love and sometimes a feeling of victory and meaningfulness, some efficacy in what's going on around me. Number four, things that cannot be paid back are meant to be paid forward. And if you are someone like me who knows what it is to live shackled to addiction or circumstances in some way, and God came in through his grace and broke those chains, like actually set you free from your captivity, I don't really need to explain to you the idea of something that can't be paid back. But what most of us will do with that, which is not a bad thing, but we'll sit in the gravity of the whole thing, and it's almost an act of worship. Like it's a healthy, good thing, but we very often stop there. And I got to tell you, you get a couple decades deep in freedom, it becomes pretty easy to take those things for granted. But the main thing that stops that from happening in my life is the second half of this principle, which means like, yeah, yes, I sit in the gravity of the gift I've been given and how nothing I could ever do is going to pay that back. But realizing that it's meant to be paid forward gives me something to do, which keeps the whole thing fresh and alive. And finally, number 5, Christianity is not a belief system. It is a way of life. And so, just like I will tell you, evangelical is not a political ideology. Christianity is not about what you believe. It is about how you live your life. Now, certainly what you believe will inform that, but if it never shows up in your life, what's the point? So look, I'm going to be here every Tuesday night doing it live, keeping it cataloged on this YouTube channel. I hope that you'll come back. Listen, if you will allow me, I would love to stand in the place of a pastor in your life for 15 or 20 minutes, just with sharing by you what God has shown me, what He's revealed in my own life through both studying the Bible and trying to live my life by those principles, and the wrestles and struggles and failures and victories that go along with it have never done anything but more clearly reflect how good the God that I love is. And I hope that you will come back and maybe you get to feel a little bit of that love for Him too.